No, I was just sitting here thinking on my life from me being a kid up until now and the things that I've been through and the lessons that I've learned and what I grew from and all of that. And I just came to the realization that when you get older, you become less important. And let me tell you why. Um, you become less important is because you can't do what the younger people do. I mean, you can, but you can't do what they do anymore. I mean, because you lived that part of your life already, and you have fizzled out of that stage, and you're into the point of being an adult and doing what adult people do, you know, and you don't partake in the activities that a young person partake in, you know, and so you become almost like an afterthought. It's like when you're younger, you're important. You're included in a lot of things. You do a lot of traveling. You go through a lot of parties. If you party a lot, you be in a lot of social circles. You partake in a lot of things when you're younger. But when you're older, and you just don't do a lot of those things anymore. You just become so distant. You don't become an important person, and people only really care about you when you're in that moment when you're present. But they don't really care like that. Um, and I've been like that, not for any fault of my own, but I've been like that because I've partaken in, when that person's not present. Um, I just don't care to reach out. But the thing about that is that I do care to reach out. It's just that I don't know how the other person feels, you know. And you know, I just noticed, because obviously, with me going out and doing my daily routine and things of that nature, and just, you know, indulging in things that I want to indulge in. This isn't like a situation I sat here and, oh, I'm in a room and I just thought about this while I'm in a room. No, when I go, go out of my day and do what I do, you know, this stuff always be on my mind. I just never brought it up, never talked about it, but today I thought about talking about it. But yeah, um, I was just sitting here thinking that also too, you know, that I remember when I was younger and I used to go to my grandma's house a lot. And I spent a lot of time with her because I love to be around my grandma. My grandma, she's just the epitome of, you know, of you know, of knowledge, right? We're talking about my my dad's mom, because my mom's mom, um, she wasn't really around. She was around a lot, right? But people in the family kept her away, But I knew my grandma. I knew her also too. But the one I used to go spend time with is my grandma on my dad's side. And I mean, at the time, I was being young and stuff, and just being happy to be around her because she gave me everything I wanted. Uh, I didn't realize what my grandma was really, the essence that she was in, you know, and people came to come see my grandma, and they spent a lot of time with her and they've been around her and they associated themselves with her. But what I've noticed, looking back at those times when I was younger, is that my grandma was just really an afterthought. Like she really wasn't a person that was really valued like that. She was really a person that people would come spend time. They love her cooking, things like that, right? But they never really actually spent time with her and been around her on an everyday basis like they were like what she was when she was younger, in those days. But my grandma spent a lot of time alone, you know, and she didn't have nobody but my great grandmother, before my great grandmother passed, which is her mom. She just was really a person that just spent a lot of time alone, did a lot of things by herself, you know, and I'm just starting to realize that, and it, I'm not saying that solitude is not a good space to be in, because solitude is a really great space to be in, but to be in solitude completely all the time, that's just crazy to me, and yeah, my grandma, she was in a lot of loneliness, man. People wasn't really around her, you know, and it don't take a lot of people for you to be what's the word, for you to be satisfied, right? But you want to know that somebody out there cares about you, right? And I know that there's some people out there that really do care about me, right? But we don't have a good relationship. We care about each other, but we don't deal with each other on that end, right? We really just, we're just people that speak when we can, right? We don't tolerate one another. And I remember back in the day, it used to be a lot of my family that would put up with me and tolerate me, as well as my friends, you know. And now, because we're older, everybody got their families and they do their own things. Like, nobody call and check up on nobody. Nobody call and do none of that. You know, see if you want to go out, do different things like that. It's none of that stuff anymore. And I, I can't put my finger on it, y'all, as to why. But it could be a number of things. But there's no closeness, man. You know, um, with family and friends anymore. You know, and I know I had to distance myself from my family because of the certain standards that they wanted me to be under, man, that I didn't want to partake in. Right? It wasn't because I loved them any less, but I didn't want to be looked down upon. So I separated myself from away from this because of that. But it's almost like you have to become something, and you have to be able to be some kind of person of extreme for people to really, for people to really value you. Like, you don't become an afterthought, because when you, like I said, when you get older, you're less important. You know, you may be important to a certain few people, maybe, but the majority of folks, they can give a damn about you. If anything, you're gonna be alone and you're gonna die alone. You know, you may be around a group of people, right? And but it just depends on where you are in the world, or where you, those things. But you know, I just noticed that you don't become you really, you don't really be important like that. It's like you became of service to these people when you were younger, right? And then as you older, you know how a lot of people always say, "Man, don't message that dude, or don't message that chick, man. She old and washed up." You know, um, I hear a lot of that. And people really literally take that to heart. You know, and this is just what's on my mind, y'all. This is not coming from a place of, oh, I'm depressed, oh, I'm down, oh, what you gonna do something with yourself, or I mean, it's none of that, right? Because I got out of those spaces, right? And I'm in a place of contentment, like I told y'all yesterday in my video, right? My purposes and things like that. So I don't want this to get twisted, or to be in some type of, well, yeah, you got what you need. Well, what is it now? No, this is just a conversation that I want to talk about, right? Because it's starting to really come into fruition. Like, I'm really starting to see this stuff. You know, it just, people are only important in the moment. They're not really important, and when people are away from each other, they're not in those spaces to where they get talked about a lot. And I mean, honestly, who wants to get talked about a lot? I know I don't, but I would love to know that I'm important, just as important as the next person is, right? And it's not out of desperation, you guys. It's just this is what's on my mind and my heart. You know, we are all interconnected in some kind of way, right? And to be distant away from each other is a very, very, very bad thing. You know, uh, not all the time, right? Because it is good to be by yourself. It is good to do different things in your own and have your own solitude, like I said earlier, and to do the things that you do. But the majority of it is like we don't need to be separate. You know, we need to be together. You know, interconnected. And again, I'm not saying that you gotta put up with that person every single day of your life, but I'm saying the thing is that I think it's important to let them know that they're relevant, that that they are an important person in their life, and they are somebody that they value high, and they are somebody that they love to spend time with, or they love to talk to, and things like that. Right? We all need that. I need to be better at that with reaching out to the people I talk to. But when I do talk to not many people, but I talk to a certain amount, and I always tell them when I speak to them, that I really value them, and I appreciate them staying in contact with me, and we stay in contact with them. I always let them know, that I'm happy that you are in my life. I'm happy that I'm taking this time out to spend and talk to you. I'm happy that we have this relationship. I'm always doing that, to let them know that you're not undervalued, right? And my way of valuing people is not in the form of somebody that needs to go out to go prove something to themselves to somebody else. Nah, you are a human just like I am, and I value you just as much, right? It doesn't you don't have to have things or possessions in order for me to value you. No, it isn't that at all. You know what I'm saying? But I think we have gotten to a place, y'all, of separatism, like being separate. You know, and again, there's a lot of reasons why people can be separate from one another, but it's a lot of that. It's a lot of separatism, man. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Leave your comments below, man, and let me know. I mean, just talk, man. Just talk to me about this, man. I'm very curious. Um, I might have talked about this a while ago, some months back. Brought up this conversation maybe in a different context. I'm not sure, but I would like to know. I mean, y'all can give me some ideas, not ideas, but give me some pointers as to why people are like this. Um, Help me to understand it because I'm confused. Um, I I remember back, like I said, back in the day when I was a kid, I wanted, or even an adult. We had each other. We loved to be around each other. We couldn't wait to go to. I remember at the time I couldn't wait to go to my cousin's house. I want to spend as much time as I could until my auntie told me I had to go. You know, I want to be over there with them. I want to go to school with them. I want to do different things with them because I had more fun being with them. Yeah, I have fun with myself all the time. Sure, I do. I have a lot of moments that I have fun by myself, but I wanted to be with them. As a young child, the complete innocence in my face and how I carried myself and the way what I wanted to do when I was around my cousins and things like that. I couldn't wait. I was itching to be with them, and we was like it was like that for us um, for a long time. And then as we got older, we started drifting and drifting and drifting and drifting and drifting and drifting, and to the point to where we don't even stay in contact with each other at all. You know, I wonder how that works, man. Maybe it's because we don't have the understanding as as young children, and then as I said before, you get older and you be like this close, and then you feel like each year that passes, it just breaks the barrier of what's going on. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just need some. I need some help on this, just to have an understanding. Maybe I'm missing something, um, but I'm very curious. And again, y'all, it's not coming from a space of being depressed or down. No, it's not none of that. I was genuinely want to know, right? Because a lot of people feel like when they hear a video like this, like, oh, he's preaching this, and that, or he's doom and gloom, or he's not happy. And it's like, no, okay, no, it's none of that stuff, y'all. But I really would like to just strike up a conversation. Why does this happen? You know, what is the cause of it? How could it be fixed? Let's talk, y'all. You know, I value y'all. I love y'all for real, man. You know, y'all are my extended family. You know, the ones that rock with me, and y'all know the ones I'm talking about. The ones, my day ones, man. You know, the ones that's going to be here through thick and thin. Uh, you know, y'all are my extended family, man, and I would love to hear from y'all, to hear what y'all have to say, because this really helps me to keep going, to make these videos, man. Engaging with y'all is the excitement for me to keep making these videos. So um, I'll be looking forward to your comments below, y'all. Let me know what's up. And y'all know the drill. I'm not gonna repeat. I'm not gonna say everything, say the same stuff I say in videos, but y'all know the drill. You know, and I'll be looking forward to seeing y'all in the comments, man. Until the next video, I'm gone, y'all.